Why does every vlog sound like this? Before you say it's minimalism or just a trend, I'll tell you why that might not be the case. Something else has happened, and I don't think anyone's really brought it up before. So that's why today we're going to talk about why every vlogger uses boring music. You might think that it's just taste, or that vloggers prefer clean music, or maybe it's a TikTok aesthetic thing. But if you've been on YouTube long enough, you start noticing something. The music that fills the backgrounds in vlogs is awfully generic and boring. That musical slop isn't there because it's a trend, or because it's the vlogger's artistic choice to include it. So, why is it there, you may ask? The short answer would boil down to just one word: money. You see, when people do things in life that require time, effort, and attention, they often like to get paid. And as far as monetization goes, that musical slop would be your safest bet. Social media platforms reward content that retains viewers and gains significant interaction, likes, comments, subs, you name it. But sometimes the things included to make videos feel complete, such as quality backing music, can work against creators. YouTube uses something called Content ID, which, to put it simply, is like an automatic fingerprint system for any music or audio that's used. That means it can analyze your whole audio file, find music there, and match it to something possibly existing on their system already. When it detects a match, a claim is placed on the video, and that's not really done by a person, it's usually automated. And when a claim is placed, monetization is often affected. This is what it often looks like. You will be notified that there was a match detected. Sometimes the revenue from that video will be redirected while the claim is active, and then you can dispute it, and that often gets resolved, but it can take weeks. And if the dispute doesn't work out in your favour and you decide to formally appeal, it becomes a more serious legal step, and in rare cases that could result in a strike. That doesn't happen very often, but the possibility still exists. That contributes to the creator's sense of fear. Since the system isn't perfect, it's commonplace for royalty-free or licensed music to be flagged and matched. And in practice, that means that, for instance, you could make your own backing track using Apple Loops, for instance, and the AI notices that it sounds similar to something else that exists, so it gets matched, despite the fact that that's something you should be totally fine to use. False positives are an annoyingly common thing in this system. Even if you follow all the rules or use your own original music that you recorded yourself, it can still get claimed. Now, that may sound ridiculous, but that's how it is. So creators adapt. They naturally start gravitating to music that sounds low risk. They don't want to be boring, they just do it out of necessity. That's how they survive and sustain themselves on the platform. It's not about art, it's about money. What does this mean for creativity? Now, because music is a liability in a way, creativity shrinks. That results in hearing the same ambient pad chords and hip-hop beats, no strong melodies, no bold identities, no character or personal touch. There's no more personality. When every vlog you listen to sounds like a cheap advert, it takes away that special something that might have made it authentic and leaves it tatty. Almost as if the ads you watched before the video never really stopped. The simplest one that comes to mind is making use of the YouTube audio library. It's a place on the YouTube studio where creators can go, download music that's all licensed by YouTube, and they don't have to worry about copyright. That's the best way not to be worried about monetization or any other problems. However, Though there are many tracks available there, the music isn't infinite, and many feel that it's quite generic. So in a way, it's an illusion of abundance and variety. The second solution that comes to mind is technically licensing. There are subscription services where you can pay monthly to access music that's pre-cleared for monetization. And for bigger creators, that makes perfect sense. It removes a lot of uncertainty. However, that solution isn't equally accessible to everyone. If you're young, or just starting out, or not even making money yet, paying for audio doesn't seem like a viable option. So the result of that for smaller creators is that they either take risks or play something that's most likely going to be boring and safe in the background. Which ties us back to why background music on YouTube is very generic, boring, and uninspiring, and to some even annoying. Many will just say it's not the biggest deal in the world, but it still strips creators of that choice and musical identity. An example could be someone might be doing a travel vlog and they think some nice jazz chords fit well in the background. Maybe they want to use an Apple loop or something that's copyright free. Maybe they just want something different to what the YouTube audio library has to offer. If they get constant claims on that to something with similar jazz chords, and let's be real, in popular music and jazz, chord progressions repeat an awful lot, they'll just resort to something else, which might not meet the original vibe they intended. So, do I think that any creator should be able to take any artist's song and use it in the background? Ultimately, although it would be really cool, it has to be a no, because it's not fair on the composer. But I also don't think it's fair that someone can get a content ID claim on something that might be their own composition getting claimed by AI music Slop, for instance. That just happens to be registered in the system. It's just not right to be constantly harassed with disputes and claims on something that isn't the main focus of the content at the time, the background music. When platforms are governed by algorithms, art becomes risk management. So when you hear the same background music over and over, it's not laziness, it's fear. To conclude, I don't think that the situation with background music is utterly hopeless. It's just creators are tired of fighting with robots. Maybe there should be some sort of optimization or review of how content ID claims work, especially involving AI music. Maybe a solution could be for YouTube to provide a better variety of tracks in the audio library. Or at least something that feels less generic to the viewer. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm curious to know what you guys think about the quality of background music these days, and whether you think the process that content creators go through is fair. Either way, I hope I've given an interesting insight into why things are how they are. In a way, a lot more people should talk about this so everyone's more informed. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.